All right, what else we got on the bag? Mailbag.
Hi, I'm Noah from Atlanta. My 4-year-old daughter has started to stutter when she's excited or nervous. Should we seek a speech therapist, or is this something she may outgrow? Did your kids ever stutter?
No, but I see it more with Caruso than I did with Serafina.
Sure.
I think Serafina was very articulate at a young age and speaking in, fluent sentences. And with him, it seems a little delayed. Not that he's slow.
Right.
It just seems like I'm attributing it to boys are slower than
girls are smarter than us at every stage of development. We're just louder, I think is what happens. I don't know how we run anything because we're just like cavemen.
Our boys is boys speech.
No, you know what it is actually? It's the boys who are actually normal and the girls are actually ahead. If that makes sense.
Oh, okay.
So we see this a lot. So usually around a year of age, kids don't have many words. They have maybe a couple, mama, dada, and it still could be very indiscriminate. So they're not saying it specifically to you. And what we discuss between year 1 and year 2 is that there's 2 types of language. It's what you understand and what you say. Understanding comes much faster than speaking, especially in boys. Again, our speech tends to come later. But 12 to 18 months, I only care about what a child understands, and 18 months to 2 years is word explosion. So they may gain literally 3 to 5 words between 12 to 15 months and maybe another 5 to 10 in the following 3 months. But what we want to see is the understanding. So we want to see that they're responding to their name. They're looking when you point. They're following commands. They're imitating. They're showing interest. And they're attempting speech. All the inflection babble. And when they say things, it's not like dad or ball. It's usually and ba means ball, and you know it and I know it and nobody else. But the 2 predictors of good future language is the understanding and the attempt at speech. And the biggest word explosion in the first 2 years is between 18 months and 2 years, and it's actually 21 to 24 months. By 2 years of age, we're expecting kids to start to put 2 words together, but it's like cavemen, right? Like me up. It's like how you talk on your act. About a 50-word vocabulary and about 50% intelligible to strangers. So it's not articulated well. And then between 2 and 3, sentence structure gets better. They're learning proper pronouns and tenses. By 3, they're doing like full sentences that are about 75%. And then by 4, we expect 100% intelligible speech. To this point, stuttering often happens after age 2.
Explain. What is a stutter and why is it happening?
Right. So typically at this age, it's not like a stutter that adults get that you're going to have for the rest of your life. It is developmental and you're going to outgrow it. Stuttering is repeating the sounds or the words because typically your brain's going one speed, your mouth's going another. So you're trying to say something, you have a lot to say, you know what you want to say, but you can't get it out. And it's very common in the 2 to 6 year range. And I often see it in kids who are much more precocious. So you take that 2-year-old girl, the boys are like me, and the girl's like, hey daddy, I want to go down the slide. And then that girl starts to have stuttering because they're speaking so much. They have so much going on that it causes a stutter. We never worry about that. We tell parents, don't interrupt them. Don't tell them to slow down. Let them work it through. And usually it's a phase. I can think of less than a handful of kids in 20 years that it got so bad where the child becomes self-conscious. They don't want to speak because they recognize they're stuttering, where then we do speech to help them out. But usually we let it be and they outgrow it. And it tends to be the kids who are actually more verbal who do it because, again, brain's going one speed, mouth's going the other. But it's hard as a parent to hear it because you're like, why are they doing it?
Also, in regards to speech, when kids develop a lisp, is that just a natural thing? Is that through pacifiers? What is the...
No, I mean, again, articulation at different ages is normal. So like we said, at 2, we only expect to understand 50% of your speech. At 3, 75, and at 4, 100%. But 4-year-olds commonly lisp sounds, R's. It's not rabbit, it's wabbit. THs are D, so it's not rather, it's rather. L's are common, lello, instead of yellow. SHs instead of ship, sip. So they call those the 4 to 6. I call them the 4 to 6 year sounds because they're actually normal for a child. Like I know when you say wabbit, you meant rabbit. So as long as I understand 100%, having those lisps are normal. If they're still there by 6 or kindergarten age, or people are having trouble understanding you, or you're dropping syllables, like instead of rabbit, you said abbot, that's when we talk to speech therapists and help them with their articulation.
Got it.
Yeah. Just blew your mind, all this speech just flowing out of my mouth.
I'm telling you, my sister listens to the podcast, and every time she listens to the podcast, there's some type of nugget of information she walks away with going, oh, I didn't know that. And I think the more people that have the information and are armed with it makes your job a lot less stressful, because people just know the answers before they even ask the questions.
Then I could just not work.
Then you could retire.
Right. I could be a robot.
Just play golf.
The opinions expressed in this program are not intended as professional medical advice, as a diagnosis, as a treatment protocol, or as a substitute for professional medical advice from your physician. Please consider your own medical history and consult with your own physician for your specific healthcare and/or medical needs, and about your concerns for yourself and your family.